One of the most popular machine guns in use today, the Rheinmetall MG3, is still manufactured and used extensively more than 60 years after it was first introduced. What enormous success did this LMG achieve that it is still used to this day? Make sure to stay tuned until the end to find out. Little can be stated about the MG3's development or design, since it's essentially just an upgraded MG42 that has been rechambered for 7.62 by 51mm NATO ammunition. The MG42 was one of the most fearsome weapons in the Axis arsenal and the most inventive machine gun of World War II. Due to its rapid fire rate, US troops referred to it as Hitler's buzzsaw, Russian troops called it the linoleum ripper, and German troops nicknamed it Hitler's bone saw. It possessed the first swift change barrel ever seen on a battlefield and fired at a rate twice as fast as the majority of other machine guns in use at the time, but it was still quite easy to manage. The MG42 was widely regarded as the best machine gun of World War II, and many historians still believe that it's the best machine gun ever produced. The desire for surplus MG42s or other weapons with many of the same characteristics after the war led to the invention of the Mag-58, the PK, the M60, the AAT-52, and many more weapons. West Germany reintroduced the MG42 when it was decided to rearm in the 1950s. While West Germany was supposed to adopt the 7.62 by 51mm NATO round as their standard rifle round, NATO permitted this as a temporary solution. West Germany simply restarted manufacture of the MG42 in the new 7.62mm NATO chambering, as opposed to importing a whole new weapon or creating one from scratch. The resulting weapon, the MG1, entered service in 1958 and was later strengthened by the MG2. Even yet, the second-generation MG42 was still in the works at the time and would come with a number of improvements. This improved weapon became the MG3 in 1959. Even the US, UK, and France initially tested the MG3. However, none of these three countries finally adopted it. This new weapon significantly pleased the other NATO countries, many of which adopted it. The buttstock of the MG3 is a peculiar fishtail form with a butt plate that curves inward and extends rearward to rest on the user's shoulder. It's pivoted in front, and the overall receiver cover opens to make loading easier. The receiver portion is long and rectangular with a recognizable, long, shallow gradient on the cover part that slopes towards the buttstock. The belt that supplies the weapon usually dangles freely from the left side, though it's also possible to attach a spherical drum or a rectangular box. Underneath the center of the receiver group is a pistol grip and a trigger group in the style of a submachine gun. Of course, comparing the MG3's design to that of the MG42 is the simplest method to do so. The barrel is enclosed with a long, skinny, rectangular, and heavily ventilated jacket, one of which has a swing-open panel on the right side. On the ends of the jacket are a conical flash hider and a folding bipod. The MG3's barrels are drilled from cold-rolled steel, while the receiver, barrel shroud, and bipod are made of stamped steel. Although early models of the MG3, like the MG1 and MG2, contain wooden furnishings, today it's typically made of a synthetic polymer. It's interesting to note that aside from the barrel, chamber, and action, the majority of the MG3's parts may be used with the MG42. The two fire settings on the MG3 are safe and fire, thus the effectiveness of creating quick bursts or single rounds totally rests on the shooter's skill. A button-like switch is used to turn on or off the crossbolt safety. By using different recoil springs and bolts, it's possible to change the cyclic rate of fire. Additionally, the conical muzzle brake serves as both a flash hider and a recoil booster. The MG3 fires from an open bolt, is short coil driven, striker fired, and has a roller-locked bolt carrier. The bolt carrier is made up of a bolt head, which has a body, a wedge-shaped like striker sleeve, a spring-loaded extractor and ejector for the casing, two cylindrical rollers, and a return spring. When the weapon is fired, both the barrel and the barrel extension recoil, cycling the action by slamming into the bolt carrier and pushing it backwards, retracting the striker sleeve, unlocking the bolt, and camming the rollers inside and out of their sockets via fixed cams, unlocking the bolt head as well. While the barrel and barrel extension return to the batteries, the bolt carrier and bolt continue to move backward while being supported by a series of fixed guides. The surfaces of the striker sleeve and the breech camming surfaces push the rollers outward when the bolt returns, securely sealing the bolt head into the barrel extension. When the ejector hits the buffer head, which pushes the ejector bar forward and contacts the ejector pin, spent brass is ejected from the weapon. The casing is propelled out of the weapon through all the ejection chutes just underneath the action by the pin's downward pressure on it. The previous MG42's roller locking mechanism was a crucial advancement, and the only reason it was controllable with such a rapid rate of fire. a side consequence of the roller locking device, similar to the delayed roller employed in the later CETME, G3, and SG-510 rifles, was to substantially reduce oscillation and muzzle rise. This allowed gunners to fire a large number of shots downrange with respectable accuracy. The barrel of the MG3 is seamlessly incorporated into the barrel breech. It has a chrome-lined barrel that is 565 mm long and uses traditional groove and land rifling, but polygonal rifled barrels with 4 grooves and a 1 to 305 mm twist have also been manufactured for this weapon. In order to preserve accuracy and safe operation during a continuous high rate of fire, it's crucial to replace the barrel at periodic intervals of several hundred rounds. However, substituting the MG3's barrel is a remarkably easy process that may be accomplished by simply cocking the weapon, disengaging the barrel shroud's catch, which opens the right side, and then swinging out the barrel through the right side and removing it by raising or canting the weapon. The process is essentially the same when changing the barrel, but in reverse. Exhausted barrels that have been removed right away from an extended cycle fire are dangerously hot, sometimes nearing white-hot temperatures, and should only be handled and disposed of using approved tools and techniques. Each barrel is 1.8 kilograms in weight. The MG3 will not feed typical fabric belts, but it will accept ammo from continuous link DM1 belts, disintegrating link DM6 belts, or other similar belts. Depending on the type, these come in 50-round, 100-round, 120-round, and 250-round belts. Although H&K created a drum for the MG3 that can accommodate a belt with up to 120 rounds, it cannot feed ammo from rifle magazines or drums. The DM2 steel ammo box, which can contain up to 250 rounds altogether in DM1 belts, can also be mounted to the MG3. The sights feature a flip-out anti-aircraft sight, a rear V-notch, and a front barleycorn. The rear sight's ranges are from 200 to 1200 meters in 100-meter steps, and it has a 430mm radius. It also features windage adjustment. All MG3s come equipped with bipods that are fastened to the front of the barrel shroud. One of the very few machine guns in regular use that is frequently fired from a tripod is the MG3. The field tripod, which comes with a Zielfenrohr 424 telescopic sight, is the standard design employed by the German military services. Even more people have used the MG3 than the number of bullets it can fire in a second, and over 30 different countries have used it. The MG3 has been produced under license by Rheinmetall in Germany, Steyr in Australia, EBO in Greece, Beretta, Franchi, and Whitehead Modifieds in Italy, Sedena in Mexico, Kapasan in Myanmar, AMIG in Iran, POF in Pakistan, Santa Barbara in Spain, MIC in Sudan, and MKEK in Turkey. An MG3 is around $3,000 brand new. It should not be surprising that the MG3 has been utilized in a variety of armed conflicts around the world given its widespread use, high production numbers, and lengthy operational history. These include numerous current hostilities, such as the Turkey-PKK conflict, the Afghan War, and the Yemeni Civil War, as well as many recent conflicts such as the Iran-Iraq War. Given the MG3's success to date, it wouldn't be surprising if this weapon from 1959 was still in use in some capacity by 2059. Is there any other gun that can replace the legendary Rheinmetall MG3? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching this video, then please make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos.